Mr. Natural here. This lesson, we're going to talk about the importance of consistency. Oftentimes, people hear that word, but they have a real difficult time fully understanding when it comes to your fitness journey why is consistency so important. All right, I have one word: retention. That's right. Think about when you were in school and you were learning math. When you learn 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, the more you practice the math, the more you retain the answer. That ability to retain lies deep within your body's internal structure. Your brain and your body work together as a unit. And when they do something frequently, it becomes very automatic. The body just understands what it's going to do, and it doesn't really need to sit in a conference room and go over details because it does it so often. Think about when you were learning how to drive, for example. You were nervous, you didn't want to talk to nobody, you couldn't listen to the music. Now you could be driving and you're talking on your Bluetooth. Don't talk on a regular cell phone. Make sure you got Bluetooth, right? And meanwhile, you're paying attention to the road, the speed limit, when your exit is coming. You've been driving 20, 30, 40 years, and it's instinctive. If a car moves out of a lane without even thinking, you just swerve and you avoid an accident. When it comes to your fitness journey, it's the same principles. But if you're inconsistent with your training, guess what happens? You don't develop those instincts. The movement, instead of getting better at it, it becomes unfamiliar because you don't do it frequently enough. The other factor that most people don't understand is that when the body works out and it does what is a challenging workout, I won't use the word hard, I'll say challenging. The body needs time to recover. So once the body has recovered from the workout, the body is now saying, okay, I'm ready for the next session. Let's go. So if you decide like, oh, you know what? That's all you're going to get this week. I'm busy. I just got too much going on. I'll get back to you next week. So now the body's internal clock is off. What I would refer to as a rhythm, it's broken. Because if you're going to train 3 times a week and you're training, let's say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the body develops an internal clock. So it knows that every other day it has the workout to look forward to. And the body has those days in between to recover. So once you break down that cycle, it works against you. It develops unfamiliarity, the body's less responsive, and progress stalls. And then all of a sudden, you become a bit more discouraged to continue training because instead of it getting better, instead of you getting more excited about your workouts, you feel like you're not making any progress. And now you think like, oh, all this effort I'm putting in, it's not working. No, if it doesn't work, it's because you're too inconsistent. Second, to give you another breakdown, let's say, for example, you set a goal, you want to be able to do 30 to 50 push ups. But right now, you can't even do 10 in one set. So, how are you going to get to those numbers? If you're practicing those push ups every other day, then each time you practice it, you become more in touch to how you breathe. You become more in touch to building muscle endurance. Your triceps get stronger, your shoulders get stronger, your core stability improves. And before you know it, 5 is 6, 6 is 8, 8 is 10, then it's 12, then it's 15, then it's 20, then it's 30, then it's 40, then it's 50. Even if you're doing it in multiple sets. But the body knows that it's going to practice every other day. But as soon as that practice is disrupted, and instead of practicing 3 times a week, you practice once a week, and then 1 week you don't do it at all, again, it creates unfamiliarity. The body now interprets that as like, wait a minute, I was looking for the workout, you didn't do it, I think you quit. I was on a cycle of progress, it's not that important to you, let me revert back to the way I was. So consistency is very important. The other factor is so many people, when they start their fitness journey, they don't have the discipline to stay focused and to stay on top of the routine. The other difficult factor is the ability to know when your body is progressing, to know when there's certain muscle groups that need more attention. There's a whole lot of different things. Let's say you have an unreliable partner, but you depend on them. And when that partner says, oh, I don't feel like it today, I'll see you next week, you don't have the discipline to get it done anyway because you were relying on that partner for companionship and motivation. So this is where I come in. I'm that person that's going to eliminate all of that guesswork. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to construct the routine the right way. And when it's time for you to advance to something more progressive to keep the results coming, I'll know when it's the right time. That way you eliminate the guesswork. Because you understand, you're over 50, the clock is ticking. Basically, the time is now. The longer you put off this journey, the more out of shape your body gets and the more difficult it becomes and the more you get accustomed to being out of shape. And now just the thought of trying to do anything to reverse it seems discouraging because you got accustomed to becoming lazy. So let's put an end to all of that, all right? Let Mr. Natural put you on the right path, give you the transformation of your life and live life to your fullest. It's time to live your best life. That's right, 63 years old, and let me tell you something. I feel like I'm 20 years younger because my energy is good, my body is strong, and every day I just look forward to just crushing new goals, whether it's in the gym or outside the gym. Not to mention, this impacts your mental health. Very important. Every time you take care of your body, you're taking care of your mind because they work together. Look at this bicep. You see what I'm talking about? That's right. Does that look like a 63-year-old bicep? Come on. Stop procrastinating. Let's get it done. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Mr. Natural, out.